Yes, now let us see how we can add different shape files, different raster files, and how to edit with simple geoprocessing tools like click and check out the map out. Through the browser panel, we go to our data. For example, my data is located in G, and it's located in lectures, it's located in GIS, then in resources. Under the resources, I've got data, and under this data, I have all these things. But quite often, if I have to go through this path, then it's quite time taking. In this case, what I will do is I'll just make the data favorite, right click it and add as favorite. So next time I do not have to jump every time to G, lectures, geographic information system. I can directly go to my favorites and I can go directly to my data. This is where I have saved my favorites. Let's go to national data now, and let's drag in Bhutan shapefile, or let's not do with Bhutan shapefile. Let's directly do with Zonghak shapefile, for example. So this is district shapefiles that I have. I can directly drag it, or I can double click it. So I'll drag it to the map canvas, and here it comes. This is my okay data that has appeared. How do I proceed from here on? I have to right click it, and every time, for example, if I have to check the labeling, and if I have to check the colors, if I have to check the details, I will just have to go to right clicking, and by going to properties, and in this property, what I'll see is I'll see the information of this one, whether it is polygon, what kind of coordinate system that it has taken, source, symbology. Symbology is what kind of symbols do I need to take out. For example, the reason why all of the districts are looking in olive color is because the symbol is just single symbol, and it is not categorized into 20 symbols. For example, if I have to change that into category, then I can change this one. Column is the attribute column that which the different categories of districts are based on. For example, I just want to choose Zonghak names are as the columns, and the color ramp by default will be given the spectral varieties, but I can choose different color ramp. For example, like spectral, and yep. So classify, and all the 20 Zonghaks have come out. But yes, that's how we check out all the classes. Okay, and yes, so we see that different kinds of colors have come. That's only because the symbology setting was with only a single symbol. We just categorize into 20 categories. We just classify it. That's it with these ones. But label is here. Right now the label has not shown because our option is in no labels, but we can change that into single labels. And label with what? So attribute table has Zonghak names written under a field called as desired GNAME. So I want to label that with that feature class. Okay, so I have my labels here. Now, for example, I want to do some processing and editing with the file. We have to know that this file is vector file because this file is a shape file, and we are not dealing with raster file right now. So to deal with a vector file, we have got separate tools under vector here in the menu bar. To deal with raster files, we have separate menu bar as raster, and I want to deal with right now vector file. So I just go to geoprocessing and I go to clip. This is how we clip different areas, clip different vector files that's falling in particular boundary. We have got buffering, we have got convection, everything else that's probably needed in geoprocessing. For example, I want to select only Thimpu, let's say only Thimpu, then what I'll do is I go to the select feature here. So click on select feature, click Thimpu. Now the Thimpu boundary will look yellow. Now I have selected Thimpu from here. Now with this selection which I just did on Dzongkhag, with the selection of Thimpu which I did on Dzongkhag, what I want to do with this selection, right click it, I go to export. I want to export this selected feature. For example, I want to save the selected feature. I can save that. I can save the selected feature. This Thimpu is selected feature. I can save this one. I'll just save the selected feature, and the format type I want it in SRE. By default it's giving an SRE, and the file name I want to name it as Thimpu boundary, but I want to save it somewhere else. For example, I'm saving here with a name called Thimpu underscore boundary. Again, in GIS, please do not use space, rather than please use underscore. And coordinate reference system is very important, because we need to define every time the coordinate reference system. So most of the time when we have used a specific coordinate system for early maps, the coordinate system that we have used should be coming around in the drop-down menu. For example, the DoGraph 526 is here, the WGS, GCS is here. That's being commonly used in my earlier projects. But I want, for example, I'm working as a very new file and I really want to get the new coordinate reference system. Then for this one, I click on the coordinate button over here. Then I click it. Then I can directly type DoGraph. Here the option comes out, and I just click here and I'll click OK. That's one way to do. If you feel that you do not know, if you feel that you know the coordinate reference system of DoGraph, EPSG, the EPSG code which QGIS rates 5266 is still for DoGraph. So either type DoG and DoGraph comes out, or either type 526, the coordinate reference system comes out. Just click it once here. You can also click once here. It's the same thing. This is just a search button, results. You can click once, or here it's same, but you have to click OK over here. Then rest other things, please leave it as default. Okay. And only Thimpu is being taken out. Yes, I will not use the Dzongkhag boundary anymore. I'll just remove it, remove the layer. Now the second layer that I want to insert is I want to insert the shapefiles of root, and all the roots have come, but I want shapefile of root falling only on Thimpu boundary. So how do I do that? I do that by a tool called as clip. But before that, my selection tool is still on, so I'll just uncheck my selection tool. I'll just uncheck my selection tool. Okay, sorry, I'm just going to uncheck my selection tool to take out sorry, they should be unchecking, but anyways, I'll go to vector, I'll go to geoprocessing to take out roads only falling on Thimpu, and I'll clip the roads with boundary of Thimpu. So I'll click clip, and input layer is root. I want to clip the root. Overlay layer is Thimpu. I want to clip the root with Thimpu, and you can directly name the temporary layer that you want to directly save it as. But even if you do not name it, even if we just run it, the results are going to be there. So this is the clipped result. I'll rename it immediately. So I'll rename it as Thimpu underscore roads. That's it. But this one, if I just uncheck my roads, and if I just keep this one, and my road falling only in Thimpu has actually come. That's it with this one. But the road color and the Thimpu color is not that friendly for us, because road color is brown in color and Thimpu color is pink in color. For example, if I want to change road color and the color of Thimpu, how do I do that now? So for this one, again right click it, I'll go to styles to change the color, or I can directly go to layer properties or symbology. Right now the line type is simple line. Just click on the simple line once, and if you want to change the color, you can directly change the color. So for example, this is how you want to turn. Wherever you are turning, for example, I've turned to green, the color is green. So let's say roots are black. This is a black one. Let's say roots are black. Okay, then if I want to increase the size and all, I can do this one from here. From here, if I want to increase the width. Yep, okay, let's see. Yes, the color has changed. Same like that. Simple fill boundary color. Simple fill, I want to change to, for example, a green one. Then click it OK. But if I do not want to do that, if I just want to leave it as hollow, then I can go to outline, simple line. Okay, then that's it. And if I want to change, if I want to increase the stroke width, meaning increase the boundary width, then I can also do that through here. That's it with the boundary and the clipping. I'll just go to zoom to layer, because that's quite important for me to see exactly the zoomed part. Now, how to finish a map in QGIS? We go to project, we go to print, because this is the final thing that we are done with. So we are going to go to print. So even if we are clicking on the keyboard Control P, that's going to work. But new print layout, click new print layout, the same thing is going to come out. Project, new print layout, or Control P. What is the name of that map that you are naming it? So map of Thimble. Click it OK, and a new kind of blank map comes out. And remember that nothing is here. You need to add everything else here. So these are all add items buttons. So whatever is there in this list is exactly found in the add items here. Can you see that? All these things are exactly found in the left panel. And we do not want to use this one because it's just going to confuse us, because of the fact that the names are not written right under the tools. But if you are going with add item, the names are written right next to the tools. So for example, the first and foremost thing that I want to add is add map, because map is not added right now. So I click on add map and I drag wherever I want to add map. Okay, that's it. And map will be added. It's taking some time. Rendering map should not be taking time, but it's taking time. Wow, the map has come. And basically what you need a map title, you need a map legend, everything else is there in the add item. For example, I want to add label, and you have to know that whenever you're adding something else, you have to draw a box or some rectangular items wherever you want to place it. So whenever you draw something else, item properties will appear on the right side. That's where you want to change everything else. For example, name you cannot write directly over here. You have to write name from here on item property. For example, I'll write Thimble. Then if I want to increase the color, if I want to increase the font, I can go to the font option here and I can increase the font to wow, that's better. And center is good for me, and middle is good for me. That's it with this one. Now the map is being added. Whatever item you have added, the item properties will come out towards the right. So if I've added the map and I want to add something else with the item properties of this map, I have to just click once over here, item properties comes out. For example, I want a frame of the map. Frame. which color? Green color frame. The green color frame should be there. Can you see that? I do not want any kind of frame right now, just disturbing, so no frame. Okay, I want to add for example legends, so I want to add it somewhere here. Yes, legends have come. For example, I do not want this road. It's rather quite sad to see the roads like this. Just go and update all, and oh, I just want to choose like this and delete this road. Only two things will remain. Even I do not want the boundary because this boundary itself is single boundary. Click once here and minus. That's it. Even if I want to edit this one, I can double click and I can just write it as roads. Even if I want to increase the size of the road, I can go to format and I can do lots of editing from here. So that's it about addition of the legends. Please add some more. For example, let's add one last thing, scale bar. And yes, scale bar is here. Scale bar is added, and you can always choose scale bar units and all from here, from item properties. So whatever you add, item properties of different things will come out. Add last thing, the north arrow. Where's the north arrow? Add north arrow. I want to add it somewhere here. North arrow comes out, but even if I do not like this one, I can always change the north arrow. Oh, sorry. I can change the north arrow from, should be somewhere, position and size, somewhere item ID. It's somewhere there. Let's try to check it out. I'll just minimize it. Yes, that's it about adding. You can add at least lots of things from here. Add items. Lastly, to export it, I just go to layout. You can save the whole project that you're working with, but I do not want to save the project right now. I directly want to export this in PDF or export this image in JPEG or export in SPG. So I'll just export the image, and that's it. I'll just save it somewhere else, and desktop with the map of Thimpu is JPEG as the formats, and save it. And this is the DPI format that I want to choose, 300 dpi, standard size. Save it, and as soon as you saved it, a kind of URL will come out here. This URL will give us the path where we have saved. You can directly click on the URL, or you can go to the actual path. That's it. So this is saved here. I'll just go over here, and map of Thimpu is here. Map of Thimpu comes here. I really hope you understood something else. Thank you.